Yo, yo, yo. What's up, what's up, what's up? On time, on dime. Still gotta get my stuff together. Hold up. Yeah. Alright. We good, we live, we live, we live. We live, baby. What's going on, Big Holmes?
Ain't nothing man, the same suits as we here. You know,
How I sound over there?
coming in good.
Alright, so what I think I'm gonna do, what I am gonna do is I'ma pop in because obviously I don't know how to do it properly. Yeah, this joint ain't hold up. My D. Yeah, this joint ain't this hat ain't working, brother. Not with the headphone. Hold up. I think that's gonna work. That's gonna work right there.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear you?
You can't.
Mm-mm. I can hear you. We good.
All right, let's
We
get
are
it.
live. We are live. This Mr. Pearl Swade, one of my moments I had to reconfigure the conversation piece for this evening. Um, right now, hold up for a second. Yeah, we ain't gonna be here too long. Uh, we just wanted to tap in with y'all, and before I even start talking, I want to thank Foxy Roxy for all of her pre-production assistance. Uh, the Pronoia podcast. Um, the the fly was responsible by way of Mr. Pearl Sway. He wanted to throw his joint on. I just had to let him know that I do a little something. Glasses by Mr. George, Mr. Uh, D. Emery does the custom shades.
Yeah, I like them, man. I need to get me some pair of them.
Yeah. It's real interesting. But let's go ahead and get into it, brother. I see I got my music might be a little loud. So this evening we want to talk about accountability. It ain't gonna be no question and answer type thing. We just gonna flow with it. If any of y'all have any comments or anything to say, tap in. Let us know your thoughts. Speak or whatever. So accountability. I wanted to kind of like cut off our conversation before we got into it. Oh, I don't know if disclaimer. That's what they say. Disclaimer. Please, if you feel some kind of way about uh, foul language or what you consider as foul language, or if you don't like smoking or drinking, I said this when I first initiated my wanting to do this. Peace, 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 Rob. Um, I wanted to let you all know that we are definitely going to be out on our natural accord and not catering to anybody's sensibility. We're realist, so we will be talking as we do. It is a million other people that are talking that you can tune into. So if you don't like what we're saying, please click off. So we're gonna talk about accountability, brother. And I've noticed in the last, I don't want to say few years, but it's been some years. It's a shift where uh, guys seem like some gentlemen, when they're not leveling up properly, get themselves into a situation where they are living with or have to live with or choose to live with their significant other. And I don't want to just limit it to that, but um, guys get into those type of situations and then seem like they don't fulfill their obligations as a man or what we consider a man to be, and the woman kind of controls the situation because she has to, especially if she already got kids and she's been doing it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And then a guy come into the situation, and she got to maintain order, and then dudes start feeling a certain kind of way. I think that's kind of the angle that I want to go at it, because I just believe that dudes should really understand what their role is in life, and go toward that, and then establish themselves, and then maybe get into a relationship where they could live with somebody instead of just from the comforts of a woman saying it's okay and then just jump into that situation. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
You want to get my thoughts on it?
No, we just we flowing, man.
So let me ask you something.
Mm-mm. Go ahead.
It's just a thought, man. It's just a thought. You ask yourself. Anytime a man goes into an agreement to be in a relationship with someone, um, that encompasses certain expectations, right?
Immediately. And I want to say that should automatically be understood, even though it's not said.
Meaning what?
Meaning that just because you move into somebody's house don't mean that you just move into their house. It's an expectation, especially being grown, especially eating, especially using water, electricity. You should already understand that there's some kind of expectation along with if it's a female that you consider a significant other, you have relationship duties that you gotta you're responsible for as well.
So what I want to say is when you go into a relationship with a significant other, what is the main thing that your role is? What is the main role of that both people? And if you just want to talk about men, okay, so what is the main role of a man within a relationship? What do you think the main role of that man in a relationship is?
Um, for me, it would be to help provide or uh maintain something. You know what I'm saying? If it's the groceries, if it's the rent, uh, if it's
Hold,
cleaning, if it's cooking.
hold on, y'all. Now you're fucking, all right?
Okay, that's definite.
It's physical, all right? What is your main role when you're in a relationship with a woman? Because you
And
don't
you're
you can be in a relationship with somebody. She could pay her own bills, you could pay your own bills. But what is your main role? I'm gonna tell you what it is, man.
thank you.
Emotional caretaker. That's really all that you're doing.
Okay.
The other shit is extra. That other stuff is extra. So when if you're an emotional caretaker to your mate or whatever, and you're in a committed relationship, that means
Mm.
you can't violate her feelings, and she can't
Mm.
violate your feelings. Following me
Mm.
now? So that's something that's totally different from a living agreement. You can live with somebody and not touch them, right? But
I'm listening.
expectations come in when you're fucking. Let's talk about it. Expectations come in when you start having physical relations.
And most of the time.
So from that standpoint, when you're saying that someone is, a man needs to be accountable, what do you think they need to be accountable for?
Um, hold up.
And I do agree with you, but I just want to know, like, what does that encompass? Because when you try to tell somebody, when we talking to people, we trying to tell them why you ain't accountable for this, that, and the other.
And you have to correct me. Excuse me. My cigar, my little cigar went out, so I gotta go with this. Um, Okay, like you said, you fucking,
Mhm.
and I get that.
If you don't have the house in your name or the apartment in your name, you don't have any fucking rights.
Right?
I don't care if y'all are fucking or not. If it's in her name, the last point of say so is on her end.
Right. At all times, when you go into a situation where she's already established and you just move in, yes, she's going to have the upper hand in that situation.
But why?
Why does she have the upper hand?
Huh?
What do you mean why?
So okay, no, go ahead and finish. So okay, so if everything is in her name, then the last point of say so is on her, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, and so the issue is who's accountable.
As adults, I think both of y'all are accountable. And I think one of the biggest problems that I think and I see is people move into these situations with assumptions. Well, not even with assumptions, they move into these situations without assuming, without having a conversation. It's kind of like a playoff of what I said, uh, or with my little clip that I did this week. It's like dudes don't communicate properly, or dudes don't communicate at all. It's always an unstated, it's an unstated duty that you're gonna have, unstated communication. And when you move in, okay, you fucking, you might be banging her. You know what I'm saying? She good, she loving you. Your your being there is going to be based on, or the smoothness or the comfort that you're gonna have is gonna be based on what you bring to the table. And like you said, you are responsible for their emotions. So that's one of your duties. It's not just busting her, because after that, I mean, after a while, regardless, if you think it properly, if you grown, the sex is just gonna be the sex. If she got kids and you eating the snacks, you eating the food. If you ain't got no car, you driving the car, you burning the gas. She's going to expect you to level up. The sex is going to wear off. It's going to wear off. So to me, if you ain't whole in yourself, I don't even think you should get in the situation. But for all of these guys to just jump out there and get in these situations, then it's like understanding the expectations that you didn't even talk about, but you have to adhere to, or that you're gonna be waiting for that one day when she be like, "Well, nigga, you can get out."
Right? So so I'm gonna ask you this again. So if the woman has everything in her name, then who should be accountable?
Are
Or
you
what
talking
should
about
the man
legal?
how, what should the
You,
man
you,
be accountable for if on everything is on her in her name? What should the man be accountable for? Ain't no man gonna be into no woman's house forcefully. It's all in agreement. You know what I'm saying? I've lived with a female before. It was her apartment. It was her place. I've
okay.
been I've been a predator and I've been a victim. I've been put the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? I've been put out. You know what I'm saying? When she thinking I don't have no place to go. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been where, you know what I'm saying, this my shit, this my house. And I've had to put, I had to put somebody out before. But I've also been so when it comes to accountability, what are these roles? Like on my job, I work with people who coming out of incarceration. They ain't got no place to go when they get out. They can't go home because they done burnt every little bridge that they had with family and friends. You see what I'm saying? But the girl that they had was them the whole 2-3 years they was locked up, sending them money for the canteen and everything. That's the house that they actually wind up going to. They ain't got no job. They ain't got shit. So, yeah, she might get upset and kick the nigga out, kick the dude out or whatever. So a lot of these things are like survival tactics, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand. Now what the thing is, or what you're saying is, you can't be bitching and moaning if you living up under somebody else's roof.
You can't, especially if you ain't.
Yeah, like this, that, and the other ain't going down. You don't work in a pie factory. You ain't putting no food in the refrigerator. Eating up everything that come in the house. You got to ask for money for transportation because you ain't driving. Is this what you talking about?
That, and even let's say you doing all that. That's saying you're giving up money. Let's say you putting food in the refrigerator. You doing all that, but you ain't giving no emotional comfort to the house. She's still gonna have an attitude. I like you said, she's always gonna be on the winning end, especially if she feel like she got the upper hand. My thing is the way that I look at it, dudes really need to be planning, be living light and planning for their solo inclusion into the world and not look at anybody for anything, because that's the only way the only way that you would, to me, will be respected, and you can cut out all that noise. I've been in situations where motherfuckers get mad at me because I got a place, because if we get to arguing, I'm not him.
Oh, right.
You got. I come to the door telling you, look, I don't like to raise my voice. I don't like to argue. Never gonna put my hands on you.
Mm-hmm.
I got a whole spot I could chill at, dolo. I'm not gonna say that, but you know that because you know what I'm saying. I ain't just coming over your house. You can come over mine, and the playing field is different. So it almost seems like a must to me that
I want
you establish yourself.
I want you to think about the ones who really would put, man and woman would put, sometimes, a lot of times, most of the times, uh, men and women choose people who are doing less than them, who are less fortunate than they are, because it keeps them up here above their mate. They want to be above their mate, so they can feel more important, or than the person that they're sleeping with. That is something that needs to be looked at, because a lot of women, man, would rather have somebody that's doing less than them because they don't have to negotiate. They have more negotiating power than their mate does. Now, when somebody's doing better than them, they have to, they have to submit. A lot of women these days, they don't like to submit. They want to have somebody that's 50-50 and doing equally as good as them, or they'll take somebody that's doing less because they have negotiation power. If you're doing 50-50 with a woman, she has negotiating power. And if the man is doing better than her, then she has less negotiating power. Because if he's bringing all the bread, if he's paying this, that, and the other, then you got men where it is the girl's house, but he pay all the damn bills, which is kind of like, it levels out the playing field. So when you come in, like, bitch, I want a motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? I want a motherfucking meal when I come home from work. I pay the damn bills in this motherfucker.
Lost cause, so they don't do that no more.
So you know what I'm saying? You got to recognize sometimes people put themselves in these type of situations. You know what I'm saying? You got to think where a woman's mind is at. I was looking at this post the other day, man, where the they was talking about females who there was something going on about why women they get breast enlargements and ass enlargements and all this other stuff. And the man was like, why the hell she got it? Men was on it chatting about it. Like, why the hell, she got to do this. I don't care nothing about how big her titties or her ass is. And I commented, I'm like, it ain't got shit to do with us. It ain't got nothing to do with it.
Don't think they know that.
They're competing with the other female. See,
ain't got nothing to do with us.
Ain't got nothing to do with men. Women, man, they know they mentally are, they know what they're doing. It's their language. It has nothing to do with us. I didn't have, I got married. I married a woman who I was doing better than her at the time. Then I put her in school, got her in college and everything, took care of her, footed the bill. Soon as she got a better job doing better than me, she went and bought a bigger house, and she turned to a fucking monster. Because she had negotiating power. She can negotiate better with me now. Now you gotta suffice for this shit, nigga, because I'm doing better than you.
Yeah.
So I had to deal with that.
And it's kind of hard it's definitely hard.
And a lot of these guys know that.
To see that.
A lot of these guys, they know that, and they will still put themselves in that position for survival.
But for guys at least, and I'm assuming that I've been in that situation. I'm just gonna say I have. But then when you get in situations like that, where the power shifts, guys can't take that kind of stuff. Especially when you not only deal with a woman's ability to have the negotiation power, but when she start doing what she want to do, then what do you do? Because you feel belittled. Now you feel less than a man because most guys ain't good with themselves enough to be like, well, if this is how you wanted to be, then I know what I signed up for. I'm not what you need. I'm gonna exit left. Especially if they build like in my past situation, if like I build a whole life, you know what I'm saying, and people look at it like, oh, you had the house, the cars, the whatever people will look at as status, and if you have that, people hold on to that like you a god, like young you living a dream. Take whatever you take and stay there. But me being a man, I'm like, I know I don't give a fuck about none of this stuff. If you gonna belittle me or you gonna act the way that you act, if we're not in one accord, I'm out. That's period. Because I know I've already stood on my own. Coming into this, I was on my own, and I could bind with you. If you feel like you're better than or you can do whatever you gonna do, go ahead and do it. But I ain't gonna be a part of it because I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I feel like I gotta put my hands on you because you disrespected me. Because when they get into that, when they start having that kind of power, women don't just throw their weight around; they get disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And you get disrespectful, then you gotta calibrate in your mind where you are. And if you ain't good on your own 2 feet, then you going, huh?
What's disrespect?
Say it again. What's disrespect?
Yeah, what's disrespect to you? Like, what do you see a form of disrespect?
And I'm not even talking about. I mean, I know it can go extreme, but I'm just talking about verbally. Verbally talking down to you, verbally disrespecting you, verbally making you feel or trying to make you feel less than you are. You can get in those kind of relationships that they'll do that.
Okay. Why do you think they do that?
You said, why do I think they'll do that?
Yeah. I see you got questions coming in.
Yeah, I do. I got calls, questions, and everything. I really want to.
You want to take
give me a sec. Hold on.
Take a call.
I think this would be so interesting. I don't even know how you let me see.
Somebody said, can love overcome ego?
Oh, somebody sent you that?
Yeah, and where is the love in the relationship? Is that just for me?
Nah, that's for us, because you can see it. I can't see it. Go ahead. Can love overcome ego?
Yeah. I think love is a part of the ego. Depending on where that individual love, what's more overpowering to them encompasses love. If they're talking about love of the individual, I'm kind of worried about because everybody wants the best for themselves. So when love comes in, like, who are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Do you love yourself more than your partner, or do you love your partner? What comes first? A lot of women that got a lot of women gonna put their kids before their relationship.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of kids, a lot of women they're gonna put. It's a lot of men got to put their kids before their woman. It's a lot of so. Am I on here by myself? Where you at? Damn man, you done cut off and everything.
Go ahead, man. It's called camera tricks, man. Cut it out. Go ahead, young talk. Nigga, don't get nervous now. Go ahead.
Nah, I ain't nervous. So love is love encompasses. That's a big ass word, man. So um, I think love causes the relationship to happen, but you still, once you get into that arena of love, all these other things happen. All these other things happen, and
Real quick.
that's how I see it. So
Yeah, but
love ain't really you know, love ain't really the question of it because you know love causes these things, these conversations that we're talking about to actually occur and happen. It gives birth to it.
my real fast. But
So somebody said, shouldn't love be the foundation? That's what I
man,
mean by what I just said. Love is the foundation, but that foundation, what we standing on, is how it encompasses of everything.
but then
Love as word. You can love
what do you what do
yourself.
you
Go ahead, go ahead.
what do you define love as? Is it love or is it admiration or is it infatuation? You know what I'm saying? What is love? Because I think people throw that word love around and don't understand that love is not, it's not that beautiful feeling of being with somebody and having that companionship. Love is when that person that you with fucks up and you say, okay, I'm gonna give them grace and still be with them. I don't think love is just, you know what I'm saying, like when you be together and you feel these butterflies and shit. I don't think that that's love. I think that's like a starter kit to love. Because a year down, 2 years down the line, that type of shit is going to irritate you. The stuff that's going to stand is going to be when you can compromise, when you can talk properly, when when they do some things that you really don't agree with, and you say, okay, I'm gonna compromise with you, and I'm gonna stand with you, and I'm gonna be with you through this, and we're gonna be good through this. And I think when you start to work in that light, then I believe that that is love. I ain't just gonna meet you and be like, oh, okay, well, you know what I'm saying, you acting like this or you doing like this. I don't even know if you could say that. I mean, you can build a foundation, but everything to me is communication. So when you talk about an ego, I want you to understand what your ego is. And if I gotta fuck up everything for you to understand what your ego is, if it's via your parents' definition of what you should dress like or what you should look like or how you should be in the world, you have a whole lot of different variations of ego that is put on you that ain't even your definitions of how you should live your life. So when you break down that, then you got to understand what love is and
I'm gonna
what
tell you.
compromise it.
I'm gonna
Go
tell
ahead.
you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna break it down to you just like this. Since the question was asked, and this is what I'm gonna say on it, and you can fill in the gaps. Love is when I look at her, I can see myself. Now, when I look at you and I can't see myself no more, I'm gonna stop loving you. Only the moments when I can see myself, when I look at her, or when she looks at me, she can see herself. She's gonna love me. The day she looks at me and she can't see herself anymore, she's not gonna love me. She's not gonna have any feelings for me. So you know how to treat yourself, but it's very difficult to know how to treat somebody else. It's like when your parents look at you, they love you because they see themselves inside of you. Even if they don't, if they have a problem with themselves, they're gonna have a problem with you.
Inadvertently too.
You see what I'm saying? That's what love is. Love is when you can see your counterpart, when you can see a part of you inside somebody else. And you want to keep your arm, you want to keep your shoulder blade, you want to keep these things, you want to keep your legs, because this is what, this is what, you know, gives you the ability to do the things that you do. When you can see that in your mate, when you can see your parts of yourself into your mate, then you could do more, you could feel more, you could be more. That's what love is. It's your counterpart. If you feel connected to me and we bonding, and you know that when I win, you win, or when you win, I feel like I won too.
And you can share that.
That's your foundation. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have issues. It doesn't mean that you're going to have problems. And just because love is in the arena, it doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying, all these other things won't happen, that these won't be issues, and that, this would be love is a damn credit card to just, cash in on when there's a problem that arises, or issue that arises. You know what I'm saying? You could love somebody like shit, but that don't mean that, what I'm saying, you have money to pay their fucking bills, or whatever, that you can take them to Cancun or some shit. You ain't got the fucking money.
Real quick. Can you love somebody and then cheat on them?
Hell yeah. Yeah, you can.
I mean, if
we're all I shouldn't even, because they ain't gonna understand it. I'm gonna leave it alone, man. I'm gonna let you answer that.
nah, cause well,
I'm a product. If can you love somebody and then cheat on them? My mother and father was married to other people when they had me. And to this day, they still claim that they love each other, but they cheated on their spouses to bring me here. So do I have an official position to answer that question?
yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
love comes in all.
If it wasn't for adultery, I wouldn't be here.
And you know what? And
Right here says, when is counseling necessary in a relationship?
let's pause that, because I want to talk about the adultery.
Go ahead.
And my thoughts with adultery.
Go ahead. Because sometimes God's parental plan goes against the religious man, if you ask me.
I mean,
They don't like my
that,
poetry.
but it's man made, so it's gonna be flawed anyway. That's a whole
Boom,
nother thing,
boom,
huh? Yeah,
boom.
a whole nother thing. Um, but would you think that if and then it's a multiple layer form, because when I think of adultery, I think of there being space, there being space for someone else to cater to you the way whoever you're with is not properly doing. Cause can't nobody get in if it ain't no space. So if somebody can love you or give you the attention that I'm not giving you, then I'm going to jump in there. So it's always gonna be something lacking. But at the same time, on the other end, playing my own devil's advocate, if you know that what you have is good enough to work on, then you express that to your partner, so you don't allow nobody else to come in. So I think that's a problem on both ends. So it's a I don't want to say it's a bad thing, but if you ain't catering to somebody's emotional well being, and somebody else, throw them a bone, or you look nice today. I appreciate how you walking. I appreciate how you talking. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't giving them that, then they gonna slip in. You know
You
what I'm
gonna,
saying? And
oh,
I'm far beyond the, you know what I'm saying? But I believe that it's a form of verbiage that anybody could use to make you twitch or make you glitch in the matrix. To think about what they say, especially if you ain't fulfilled or you don't know yourself properly, somebody can ease in there and give you whatever you're looking for.
mm-hmm.
So that's just my little piece. Well, we can when is counseling necessary? To me, I would say if you asking about it, then
Bef- Before,
that's a good one too.
yeah, because you know, um, you got to get rid of that old software because you're gonna wind up taking your last relationships. You're gonna take that person's debt and place it on your new man's account.
Give me what do you break that down for me? What you mean by software? What are you talking about?
It's software, so everybody is a download. You know what I'm saying? Like
Give me the computer. Give me the computer.
yeah, every person that you with, you know what I'm saying, is a download on you. And you're gonna take that pain. You don't want to take that pain from your last, relationship into your next one because the same shit gonna happen. You're gonna expect, the wrong thing to happen, and then that's what's gonna happen, the wrong thing. You're gonna live it out. And so you got to get that software, that download of your past old relationship. That's software. You want to get clear that shit off your computer, in your spiritual system before you move to another relationship. So that way you can download new information and kick that old shit off, and you'll have a better, what I'm saying, you go into it better, you put more in, you're willing to do work. See, when we go through past shit, we go in there like, oh shit, I'm shit, fuck it, I'm tired of doing for this person, blah 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 blah. Motherfucker need to do for me, woo 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 woo. That's old software. See, people think that shit sound good, but you taking your past relationship experiences, which is software, and you bring it into your new shit. And then you know what I'm saying, you don't want to negotiate, you don't want to build, you know what I'm saying? All y'all doing is emotional caretaking. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a certain type of way so you don't hurt her feelings, and she got to do this, and so she doesn't, push you away and all this other shit. That's the past experiences being brought into this new one, this current one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you need counseling before. Constantly need to be having somebody to talk to and listen to. We doing it right now. You know what I'm saying? This is therapy right now, if you ask me. Just hearing a different side, just hearing different things. Each one, we teaching each other. We learn from
it. And my thing with that is you get I know you're gonna read it, don't say it. But you get this way you get different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? With the therapy, you find out different mechanisms to move, but also with therapy, you find out the patterns. And I think that that's one of the most important things is to find out the patterns. But I think the biggest thing is to break down the trauma. And that's probably, I don't know the word for it, but that's probably the biggest part is to find out what will allow you to put yourself in that situation and then stay in that situation and try to manifest it into being whatever it potentially can't be. Because I don't think, like you said, foundation. I don't think you can build I don't think you can build a substantial situation on trauma. So you have to you have to clear that path for enlightenment. You have to clear that path for a better life. You have to clear that path for a fresh relationship. But when you get in a relationship, like you said, all of the software that's been downloaded to you, or computer or your avatar, however you look at it, all of that trauma that you have dealt with, and you didn't process it properly, so you could take a year or 2 years and still carry it. Once you move into another relationship, as soon as I sneeze wrong, or as soon as I walk to the left 2 paces, you're gonna say that's the same shit that nigga did. That's the same. You know what? I knew it was something about you, and then we got a problem. And that's what therapy is for, to make you dissect what you're calling a problem, which is really not a problem. It's just you relating your trauma to something that happened in the past. So I think for me, the therapy is to help you break that down, or to discuss things with somebody who can help you figure out why you would keep being in that cycle. Because even if you can go a year or 2 with a person, you will still succumb to the same thing because you haven't cleaned out that closet long enough to allow whatever your issues were to come to the surface.
Okay.
You I don't know. I relationships are tricky, but I just think if you want it, if both of you communicate properly and you understand what type of page you both want to be on, you won't condemn each other for your past issues or what you bring to the table. You will work through it. And if you want to be in a relationship, then you work through it. Oh, you work through it. Hold on. Go ahead, man. Talk on that.
I agree with you. I don't really have nothing. I mean, I would. You said it. Yeah, that makes sense. You have to work. You know what I'm saying. You have to work. You got to work through stuff. But the same at the same time, you got to ask yourself: are you holding yourself accountable, or are you putting the other person and sitting back and having expectations on them, or are you putting in the work? Because a lot of times when we sit back and we are, putting them expectations on our mate, we lose focus on our work and our path and what we're supposed to be doing. See what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't need nobody to be you shouldn't need your girl to be a woman in order for you to be a goddamn man. And she shouldn't be need you to be a man in order for her to be a goddamn woman. But you can only speak for yourself. You dig? You can only speak for your own self. You can put your work in. If you don't like the results, if you don't like the, saying if you ain't getting no kickback from your investments, then okay, you need to go down to, you need to talk about it. So I mean, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
I'm saying I had a girl that, I had dated a chick one time who um she took my voice away from me, where, she told me she got mad at something. She attacked me because I said something and she didn't like. And I asked her, I said, look, do I put my hands on you? She said no. I said, do I call you out your name? She said no. I said, do I steal anything, take anything from you? She said no. I said, so, you know what I mean? So, I don't do none of these things, and yet you're gonna sit here and tell me what I can and I cannot say out my mouth. Nah, that you can't have my voice. You can't do that. I've already, pre-edited myself. You know what I'm saying? So you know, you should be able to get results out of communicating. You know what I'm saying? Now I told her, I said, I don't put my hands on no woman. I said, now if you want to get you a boxer, you want somebody to put their hands on you, go down to the LA boxing gym and get you one of Floyd Mayweather type motherfuckers. And I'm not gonna do it. If I can't get
Right.
results out of having a conversation with you, we're gonna have a problem. You know? So look at it. Think about it. Okay, I see a question here. It says, my man habitually cheats on me because he is a nymphomaniac. Should I give him a pass? What would you say?
To that, for me, would I give him a pass? Uh, that's deep. Me being me, I would just say, because we've had a conversation about cheating before, and I when you think about somebody being in a position where they feel like they got to be with somebody else, if you've already discussed your if you've already discussed what you expect out of the relationship, and somebody doesn't adhere to it, I believe that if that's their game already, then they're gonna always play it on you. So for me, would I give you a pass for doing that shit? Hell no. I would. Um, but what kind of life do you wanna have? Do you wanna be what's the term? Not polygamy, but what's them? I don't know them different phrases. If you want to have an open relationship, then I have an open relationship. That's fine. But if you want to be with one person, then obviously that ain't gonna be a relationship for you. And in my past experiences, if you let me do it one time, I'm gonna think it's all right. So guess what? As long as I know I can finesse you one time, you will forever because I'm gonna always play game to you. As long as I give you what you need, you can find out whatever you need to find out. So you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But passes for me is only depicted on my intentions for you in my life. And if you acting like you want a life with me, and I want a relationship where it's just me and you, then no, that's not acceptable. So you might let it go one time, but we ain't about to play these games because the life is filled with oh shit. The life is filled with that. Life is filled with that. I see we got another guest. Um what's his name?
The networking liaison.
The networking liaison.
Tabernacle. How y'all doing this evening?
I don't think it's gonna work. But I got headphones and it's still not working.
So what I missed?
A lifestyle myself. Uh, I thought the headphones would work. Headphones don't work with different devices.
Look, man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I think this is a lady. She's saying my man habitually cheats on me because he is a nymphomaniac. Should I give him a pass? And I'm gonna tell you something right now. I got 4 nieces, and I was married once, and my wife cheated on me. Okay, and I decided not to leave. I decided to keep her
Why though?
because I knew that if I kept her, that my relationship with her would change. So I took the driver's seat, and she sat in the guilty seat.
So what are you saying the dynamic shift was?
The dynamics changed, and I won her over because she started to pay more attention to her marriage than she did with the people on the outside. So I stopped sleeping with her, punished her, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just stopped being as social with her, but I stayed in the house. I gave her a hug and a kiss when I felt like it, and I walked out the house and it did me.
And you cheated back.
No, I never cheated. I didn't have it in me to do that. I mean, at the time, no, I was focused. I had other businesses. I had other stuff I was going on. See, the reason that she, probably was vulnerable, as like we talked about earlier. She got vulnerable because I wasn't there, or this, that, and the other. And and so I let her do it. You know what I'm saying? I said, look, if this man makes you happy, stay with him. stay with him. If he makes you happy, stay with him, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Why? Because I married this woman for partnership. It wasn't really about love with me. It was about partnership. We were growing, we were building, and we were making shit happen. And she was good for that. She wasn't good in the relationship department, but she was good with business and managing money, managing my money and shit. So I stuck with that type of relationship. And I took the driver's seat, and you know, she sat in the guilty mode. She sat in guilty mode for a while, like, cause she wanted that relationship back. I just refused to give it to her. Now she thinks that I'm out here doing this, that, and the other. All right, which makes her, you know, a little bit more into the relationship than I was. So I just carried it. I just took the driver's seat. But I don't think our instructions to be men should be the same advice that we give to females and to be a woman, because we're made up totally different. So when the lady asks us a question like that, I would say give them a pass. But I would
How
also
many passes?
I would say, look, but it's a certain element to it, because you know, I would tell the girl, look, is he cheating or is he lying? And you're catching him. And are you guys married? If y'all married, he's really not cheating. He's just fucking lying to you. See what I'm saying? Oh, she just dipped. She said, good show, I'm gone. But you know, is the dude cheating or is he just not telling you the fucking truth? So, I mean, if he's not telling you the truth, I would third party his ass and just tell him, look, I already know this is what you're doing, so I don't have no trust issues. I have trust issues with you. And I would make him pay more attention to the relationship than otherwise. See, it's easy to fucking roll out. But being there to get something tangible out there, you know, staying there, being there to get something tangible out. We walking away from relationships with no inheritance, nothing. All you going in, you leaving out with nothing but a fucking memory of how y'all used to fuck here, do this, that, blah, blah, blah. But we ain't leaving with nothing tangible. You should have something. You should have something in your hand. See what I'm saying? Some land or some property or some money or something. Your financial, what the fuck is, you know, y'all ain't the purpose of y'all being together in the first place? If ain't nothing tangible about it.
If you don't go in there with expectations, then that's how it's going to wind up.
Your phone is
Hey, hit the mute.
It's doubling up, yeah.
Yeah, so my thing is, when you go in to a situation with no expectations and no clear understanding of what your duties are, then that's what's going to happen. If it's going to be something tangible, then that's something that you need to discuss. Because other than that, people are just in relationships just trying to live their day-to-day without any end result. And without any end result, all you doing is just bouncing back and forth. So if you don't get nothing tangible out of the relationship, that's because you didn't properly communicate that that's what you wanted in the beginning or in the middle or whenever you understood that you was fucking wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? If you were in a situation, in any situation, you should put yourself in a situation with the understanding that the main real estate is to grow. The main purpose of me being with you is so that I will be here and you will be here, or I started here, you started here, and we go, it's elevation. You know what I'm saying?
Because like we started on saying, it can start off with you just fucking.
You know what I'm saying? But that shit gonna wear off because tomorrow's coming. And as anybody know, excuse me, people, click off right now. Ain't nothing better than pussy, but some new pussy. So it's always gonna be something that's gonna be better. And if you don't know about that, then it's gonna always still seem better. So you gotta be good with you and know where you wanna go to deflect yourself from even jumping out there and fucking with somebody else. And you got something else to do. So being with somebody else ain't even an option because you trying to grow and build. And if you already got something over here to help you grow and build, then that's what you're gonna stick with. You're gonna stick with it until you build and grow. So like you said, if somebody cheat, but she handling business and she doing stuff right, okay. But build and grow. You know what I'm saying? But just keep the respect there. But if you ain't got no understanding of what y'all dynamic is, you just gonna be spinning in a whirlwind.
Understand what you're doing while you're doing. Don't
just be
doing
doing
it just because it's something to be done. Because the pussy is definitely it's down. It's not worth its price in gold at the end of the day. Either it's procreation or it's building a life foundation for your future siblings or your children. That's it, man. So where you want to be at? Be a man or just be a fixture in this fucking avatar world that we live in.
Dang. Y'all talking, y'all preaching.
Yep. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? I don't think cheating should be a man.
I guess Mike Lowe, son.
I don't think we need to be concerned with that shit, man. If women do it, you know, keeping up with a woman's emotions is fucking exhausting.
It's not our job.
It's gonna be times when she gonna be vulnerable. You can't walk away from.
What is our job then?
I don't think it's healthy to walk away from every little situation because somebody did something or whatever. You can't really. You'll be doing that shit forever. Everybody gonna fucking deviate and go in another direction at some point. If they feel vulnerable, they feel vulnerable enough and they ain't into it. You know what I'm saying? The relationship ain't gonna always be 100 solid. 100% solid.
So what is the result? What do we do?
You have to learn. You have to be able to get past the obstacles. Man, people married for 60 and 70 years. They done cheated on each other, kids by other motherfuckers in relationships and shit. They still together because their love for each other overcompensated for the obstacles that was placed in front of them.
And guess what? That
they still was together. Ask motherfuckers that's been married for 40 and 50 years. You think they ain't had no obstacles in front of them?
Nigga, that is love.
Right. Exactly.
That is love. Not all this. Echo one.
Any obstacle that comes in front of you, you're able to get past that shit. Yeah, you're gonna be fucked up. Yeah, you're gonna be hurt. But your relationship with that person has to be got to be bonding and super glue enough where nobody else can really break that up.
Nothing tangible is obtained without a level of pressure or pain. Didn't mean to rhyme that. Nothing tangible is obtained without a level of pressure and pain. If it doesn't shift your mind state or the way that you think about life and the things that you're doing, if it doesn't do that, then you're just being, you're just living. But when you have to, not when you want to, when you have to shift the way that you think, the dynamic in which you're going, then that is growth. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that is when you shift from the bullshit to the real shit. And I don't want to say that that's the foundation, but I think that that's when you should start to make sure that who you're with is who you want to be with, and you build and grow from that. But you got to know yourself, and your partner got to know themselves, and y'all got to understand that y'all trying to know yourself, and y'all could build from that. But those are the foundation pieces. So all of that, I want to fuck all the time, or I really want to be with you all the time. That's just cool because you probably used to being with somebody, or you're not used to being alone. That's all bullshit. Once you understand who you are and they understand who they are, you understand your pain and the things that hurt you from your past. She she understands her pains and the things that hurt her from the past, and y'all build from that point on. Then I think when y'all combine and come together, y'all can grow. But for me, for men, I think men really need to be by themselves and stabilize themselves without a woman in order to allow them to see that it is absolutely no need for you to be in my life. And this is a choice that I'm making to be with you. You do not have to be here. And at that point, I think you'll stabilize respect in the realm of being in a relationship, and then you can build and grow to be better with her and to each other for whatever endeavors you try to accomplish in life. Tabernacle.
Church.
Can I say something, fellas?
Bro.
Oh, I ain't want. I got tap in. First of all, shout out to the good men in attendance for even allowing me to be in the presence of this building cipher. But what I haven't heard yet is men having knowledge of self, because a lot of us go into these relationships when we don't even know who. You know what I'm saying? We don't even have knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to say that was it. I ain't want, what I'm saying, but just knowledge of self. Because initially a lot of relationships is built off, like I ain't gonna say built off, but the first brick that was laid is the brick of lust. The brick of lust. You see some fat ass or big titties over there. Damn, how you doing? You shoot your shot. Sometimes you shoot from the logo. You might shoot a half court jump and bow, score. Now your emotions is overriding your intelligence. Now that feeling of lust, you know what I'm saying, that 1 week turned into 3 weeks, that's damn near a month. Now y'all in a relationship, but for real, that foundation was built off of lust. That energy transfer of lust, and that ain't, I mean, what tangible is gained out of that? So, I mean, that's a rhetorical, but still, I just think, we just need to have knowledge of self before, once we hit a certain age, you know what I'm saying? As teenagers and early 20s, I guess is, you're in your learning stage. You don't know too much. You still a baby, for real. So you're gonna go through that trial and error. But once you, I think, reach a certain age, yeah, like I was speaking on the tangibles. I just think, you just need to have knowledge of self before we go dealing with these women, confusing them and shit like that. That's just my 2 cents.
That makes sense. I can dig it.
I'm probably need.
Yeah, I think that's it's definitely necessary not as I don't want to say a necessary evil, but that's a deep thing. You know what I'm saying? And I guess in any realm or facet of what we talking about, it can go in different ways. Even though we try to specify just being in relationship or relationship for a man. Knowledge itself is, man, that's deep because niggas still caught up in it and is niggas don't know that they avatars. Niggas don't know that they're beings. You don't know that you control everything that's going on with you. Niggas don't know that all of this stuff that's going on is a falsity. Like this stuff is not real. Like you have to kind of like stabilize yourself in a position that you're working in. Like if you're working in love and you're considering yourself as being a part of love or in a relationship, you just got to understand who you are and how to maintain your being or who you are in this situation and maintain your sanity in this part and learn how to love and procreate and grow and teach, because at the end of the day, to me, everything is about teaching, because we're always learning lessons and there's always somebody trying to get a lesson that they need to learn. So your knowledge itself is, I almost think that might be like A1 day one. Like that might need to be right along the line with talking to a therapist. But even if you talk to some therapist, forgive me, forgive me. But if you got a therapist that's coming at you with Bible verses and talking a certain religion to you, then you might get swayed to the wrong dimension. I mean, your knowledge itself is going to have to be based a little deeper than 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 just being in a relationship. That's why I say be by yourself. But a lot of people can't be by themselves, and I've had a lot of individuals, and we're gonna have to cut this off in a second. But I had a lot of individuals tell me the difference between telling somebody that I don't want to be in a relationship and showing somebody that I don't want to be in a relationship and building and growing. So if you're going to learn yourself and you feel like you can't abstain yourself from sex or those kind of desires, which you really need to, and I'm not going to go into semen retention and all that other stuff, but we kind of really need to uh, do all of those things. But you need to be in a place where you can be vulnerable with yourself and not be condemned by any outside entity, so you can clearly understand what is going on outside of it. Because a lot of the things that are put on you is put on you by media and the world. And a lot of our parents, a lot of our teachers, a lot of the media that is going on, most of it is based on control and deviating you from understanding your inner self, because we still don't understand the potential of what we can do with ourselves, with our inner selves, our cells, our being, our energy, our electricity, what we project to the world. And you can probably, you know what I'm saying, you could probably tell me more than I can say myself. But You know what I'm saying? It's a lot that goes into you understanding who you are before you combine yourself with somebody else, and then you try to learn it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be strong in yourself before you allow somebody to come and they try to put all of their dysfunctions on you because they want you to conform to their way of life, but their way of life was dysfunctional. You know what I'm saying? So knowledge itself to me is being able to stand on your own and not being compromised by somebody else and whatever dysfunctions that they had going on.
That makes sense.
So my thing, all right, is let's see how we could wrap this up. What do you think? What do you think is necessary for a male, for a man to do in order to properly navigate himself in the world of relationship, or if you want to be in a relationship? What should you focus on?
First, I would say my personal opinion, seclusion. Need to be, like I think you already spoke on it, be by yourself, but seclusion first to figure out, not even shit, find out who you are. Because if we operate on a lower frequency and you just fucking, then that's you just you're gonna be trying, you're gonna be drained. If you look at your vessel like a battery, eventually batteries die. So if you just keep giving out your energy, just fucking, you're not gonna find out who you are. You're just gonna know that you like to fuck. And then
Does that sound like an echo, yeah?
A little bit.
Okay.
so I would say my personal opinion, it depends on how old you are, but at a certain age, seclusion. And then, you can, set your sights on the woman that, I'm not gonna say the woman of your dreams. I don't know if that exists, but then you can set your sights on the woman that fits your puzzle, the piece that fits your puzzle, and build from there. But if that first brick of your foundation is the lust brick, it ain't gonna go how it's supposed to go. Eventually, that building gonna crumble, and that's just my take on it. Seclusion, you know. Per
Man, I agree with you. I think stay disciplined. I just think you gotta have discipline. You gotta be able to Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Stay disciplined. Be calm and uneasily to be influenced. I think that's what uh, uneasily to be influenced. Enables us as men to be a lot more in control of our emotional side. I don't think men are good with their emotions. You know what I'm saying? Being emotional for men is, I think women are better at that than men are. We don't know how to hang. We gotta have anger management. We gotta be locked up. When we emotional, we make emotional decisions. You know, because if you ask me, we're all men and women. It take a man and a woman to make a man and a woman. So you're made up of a man and a woman. So you could be emotional. You could be a bitch just as much as you could be a motherfucking man. We all have a choice every moment, every breath that we motherfucking take. You could be a bitch, or you could stand up to your own motherfucking fear. And when you're afraid of something, if you don't challenge your fears, you're not gonna become a fucking man. Plain and simple. So, you have to have, the old man told me in a barbershop one day when he caught me doing some bitch shit. And he told me, he said, man, the first relationship you need to learn how to have is with the bitch that live inside of you. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna cut off on that note. So I had to get my shit together. Who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I going to be? Am I going to be leaning more towards the things that my mother taught me, or am I going to lean more towards the things that my father taught me?
And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to conclude this segment. It's been beautiful to me. It's just conversations, and I love to be comfortable in whatever we doing. I would definitely find a young lady that is willing to jump out there with us and have this conversation in a future setting. But I appreciate these minutes. I appreciate these moments. Thank you, Mr. Nomad, for popping in. Mr. Pearl Sway for your wisdom and guidance. Thank you for the fly that you threw in there. You know what I'm saying? That I had to jump on top of, let you know it ain't sweet. And we are going to fare each other a good adieu, and peace and blessings to everybody who stood in. If you have any questions or anything, and you want to talk about anything, hit me up, hit us up, hit them up, and I'll be sure to talk about it. But I'm definitely gonna talk about it the way that we talk about it. No fluff, no, you know what I'm saying, cutting out or anything. And we're gonna be us at all costs. And we ain't trying to compromise because there ain't no compromise going on. Peace and blessings to you all. Uh, love, peace, and prosperity to you all. Pearl Suede. Be easy, God.
One, man. Peace.
One.
All right. I'm gonna cut this thing off.